internet, I'm Uncharted 6 and today we have another video of my 2021 Ford EcoSport. Now there's 4 trim levels of the EcoSport. First we have the S model, which is this one, which is also the base model. Then there's the SE, the SES, and then the highest model is the titanium. And of course, each trim level is more expensive than the other. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a walk around while I'm explaining what each feature does and what it is. Then I'm going to drive it, and then I'm going to give my personal opinion on the car, if I like it or not. You know, something similar to what Dr. Mir would do. So first off, I want to start with a key. It's a simple key fob, and it only has 3 buttons, which has the unlock, the lock, and the panic button. And it also has that switchblade function. You press a button and it reveals the actual key. And the key also has, or the car I should say, also has an aftermarket remote start, which is something I installed. Now let's move on to the actual car. Now for the exterior, you're gonna notice those lights and the blinkers, which are the lights on the bottom. Those are the blinkers and not fog lights. And simply, this car doesn't have fog lights. I think the higher trim levels do have them, but this one doesn't. Next up, we have the mirrors. One thing I like about them is you can fold them in like this, which I think is pretty cool. My previous car couldn't do that. And the next thing, which is really quirky in my opinion, is on how to open this tailgate. Now you might be thinking that there's probably a button that can open it, or maybe it has one of those tailgate things where you stick your foot under it. Well, that's not it. There's no buttons here. Then how do you open it, you might be thinking? Well, if you look really closely on this side, it's a little bit hard to see, but you're gonna notice those arrows pointing down. So you stick your hand under them, and there's a button right this. You push it, or maybe not, but because the car is locked, so let's unlock it. Sorry about that. So you reach under there, push it, and it opens the hatch, which opens just like a RAV4, which I think is pretty cool. Now, there's not a lot of room back there, but those seats, you can flip them down, and then it reveals some extra space. Now let's move on to the inside. Okay. And let's, while we're at it, since it's a little warm in here, let's start it up. Okay. Now we're gonna go from left to right, and this car has power door locks, power mirrors, the window lock, and yeah. So the power windows, the driver's side is automatic up and down, but the other 3 are not. You actually have to hold them down. Then we move on to here. It's got the light switch. And it also has the minus is to dim the dashboard, and the plus is to lighten it up. I mean, you get what I'm saying. then as we move on to the steering wheel, it has controls, so you can flip through the dashboard if you want to change something, or view the mileage or the oil change, tire pressure, whatever. And if you press this button right there, it gives you a little more options, so you can change more advanced settings. Cruise control, it has a horn. And over here we have Bluetooth and radio controls. And the windshield wiper. Now this lever on the side here, it controls the rear windshield wiper. And you flick up the lever to activate the front windshield wipers. And this is the speed for the lowest settings. And you would flick it down to wipe it once. To squirt the windshield, you push it towards you, which takes care of the front, and if you push it away from you, it activates the sprayer in the back. You have the radio with your 6 presets, the volume control, and you use this to change it from FM to AM, your Bluetooth or MP3, whatever. This is your phone settings. Those are your apps. And there's more settings. So you're gonna go through, and if you want to do some settings, you can adjust them here, which this knob does. And it's also for tune and OK. And this button takes you back. Then you got the volume controls, you got the equalizer, previous, play, pause, and next. You also got the climate control, the air conditioning, ice cold, and the heater. So the air conditioning is already on. Then you can also adjust where you want it to blow, including the windshield and the rear defroster. So down here we have this button. It says A on it with that circle thing, and that deactivates the auto stop and the traction control. So the auto stop, basically, it's when you stop at a stop sign or a traffic light, that auto stop thing, it turns it off. So basically your engine would stay running instead of shutting off. It also has 2 USB outlets and also a power outlet, 12 volt. Then there's also your transmission. It's an automatic. You could park, reverse, neutral, drive, and sport mode. But you don't need sport mode unless you want to feel sporty. Well, if you want to use sport mode, go for it. But I wouldn't recommend it, because it's a good way to ruin your bank account with gas prices these days. And it's got the e-brake as well, with a center console. You can take this out, get some more space. And we also have the glove box. And there's a little gap right here which reveals the owner's manual. Interior lights, rear view mirror, and a little section on top where you can put stuff in them. I like to use them for sunglasses. And we also have the sun visors with a mirror so you can look at yourself. On both sides, got those handles, the headrest, and we got some cup holders. And speaking of room, those door panels on the bottom, they have a lot of room here. Also forgot to mention, we have the signals and the lights, well, or high beams I should say. And let's move on to the back. But before we do, one thing I forgot to mention is, you remember me saying that you have to reach down here to open the trunk, and this is where the back lights should be, or the reverse lights. So then you might be asking yourself, if that's where the reverse lights should be, then where are they? Well, you can find them here on the bottom. That's where the reverse lights are. And as we go to the back, so fold these back up. So I already showed you that they fold down. And you have more cup holders here. And in the center, there's more cup holders. And then as we go to the right side, there's another cup holder and another power outlet, which I'm using for the dash cam right now. And also the mirrors, I forgot to mention, also have that blind spot on both sides, which I think is pretty cool. And so, those are all the features of the Ford EcoSport. Now I'm going to drive it, and after that, I will give my personal opinion. And here we are, driving the EcoSport. Now, it doesn't make any noises. It's really quiet. And it handles surprisingly well. There's also a smooth ride, as you can tell. I mean, it takes a little bit to accelerate it because it's only a 4-cylinder. And it's a crossover, so it's not surprising because it's not a supercar or anything. So yeah, I mean, driving wise, I like it. I mean, it doesn't really replace my 14 Chevy Malibu, which was sportier. But yeah. And also, like I said, it gets the job done. And there you have it. So there are pros and cons about this car. So first of all, the pros are that the car runs pretty good. It handles well. It's a smooth ride, as I said before. And it's really good in the snow. It has a lot of cup holders, which is also something I like, and it gets the job done. Now the cons of this car would be though that it's not good on gas, and it doesn't have a lot of room. I had a 2014 Chevy Malibu, which had a lot more room. I think there was one other con that I had. Maybe that was all of them. Now you're asking yourself, if you didn't like this car so much, then why did you buy it? Well, as I said before, I had a 14 Chevy Malibu and I totaled that. And back then, when I bought this car 2 years ago, or last year it was, there was all the options I had pretty much, and I didn't have a lot of money. And this car was cheap to begin with. So that's another pro, I would say. If you're looking for a cheap car, that would be the way to go. And I think that wraps it up for this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, goodbye.